Hi guys, and welcome to MANNA, the channel where we take a look at the religious significance of Christian dishes throughout the ages. And today we are making, drumroll, hot cross buns. Now, hot cross buns are probably one of my favourite Easter treats. These sticky, sweet, but spicy little buns have been around for hundreds of years. Now, like many pre-Christian traditions, the hot cross bun belonged to pagan traditions, paying homage to a particular goddess. However, the cross within the hot cross bun resembled the crucifixion of Christ, and so the Christians adopted it to symbolise the miracles of Easter. Now, I was shocked to find out that there's still some young people in this world today that do not know what hot cross buns are. Now, we see them up and down our supermarkets every year towards Easter. And people may still look at them and think, I wonder what they are. Maybe they just think they're another type of bun. But hot cross buns are very important in the history of Christian culinary traditions. And hot cross buns have been gracing our tables for centuries. Now, we've mentioned in previous episodes that the significance of Christian dishes usually comes towards their aesthetics, but also the symbology of the ingredients that are used, and hot cross bun is no different there. On our hot cross bun, we have a cross that is made out of flour and water mixture, and that symbolises the cross that Jesus was crucified on Good Friday. However, the spices that are used within hot cross buns are said to resemble the scent of the spices that were used to embalm Jesus' body after he died. Now, an old belief actually says that if you bake your hot cross buns on Good Friday, they will not go mouldy for the rest of the year. Another saying says that if you keep one hot cross bun after Good Friday and someone falls ill, if you break a crumb off that and feed it to them, they will be restored to full health again. Now, obviously, we don't know how true these claims are or these beliefs are, but it all adds to the symbology and the lore and all of the exciting stuff that surrounds Christian dishes like the hot cross bun. Now, hot cross buns are up there with the mixture of other dishes that we've created in terms of importance in Christian culinary history, and it's usually placed alongside our simnel cake when it comes to Easter. But if you would like to try out the old belief that if you bake a hot cross bun on Good Friday, that it won't go mouldy, then be my guest, because we're about to get into our recipe. So, history lesson over, time to get baking. So we are going to need 500 grams of strong white bread flour, plus a little extra for dusting when we're kneading our dough, 75 grams of caster sugar, 2 teaspoons of mixed spice powder, 1 teaspoon of ground cinnamon, 1 lemon, and we're going to grate the zest of that lemon, 10 grams of salt, 10 grams of fast action dried yeast, or 2.5 packets of the 7 grams ones, 40 grams of butter, 300 millilitres of milk, 1 free range egg, and we're going to beat that, 50 grams of finely chopped mixed candied peel, 200 grams of raisins or sultanas, and then we're going to need a splash of vegetable oil just for greasing our bowl for when our dough is proofing. For the topping of our hot cross buns, we're going to need 75 grams of plain flour, 2 tablespoons of golden syrup for when we're glazing our buns, and we're also going to need 100 ml of water. So now onto equipment. So for equipment, we are going to need our baking tray, our mixing bowl, our saucepan, our spoon or spatula, our trusty egg wash brush, a grater for when we're grating our lemon zest, some parchment paper, and we are going to need a piping bag. Now that that's sorted, the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to put our flour, sugar, spices and lemon zest into a large bowl and mix all of that together. Once you've done that, we're going to pop our milk into a saucepan and just bring that to a gentle boil. Then once that's at a gentle boil, you're going to pour it into a jug or some form of container to cool down, because when that goes in there, once it hits our yeast, we don't want it to be too hot because it will kill the yeast. A simple way to measure whether or not the milk is cool enough to go into your yeast mixture is with clean hands. Just dip your finger in, and if it is as warm as bath water and you can get in that bath without burning yourself, then your milk is ready. After that, we're going to throw our butter into a saucepan, and we're just going to bring that down to a boil as well. Again, same principle, just let that cool down a little bit before we pop it into our mixture, just so we don't kill our yeast. Brilliant. So now that that's done, we're going to pop our yeast into our mixture, and then we are going to pop our cooled down warm butter in there along with our cooled down warm milk. And just be careful, don't put all the milk in at once because you don't want the dough to be too wet. But if it does get a little bit too wet, just add a little bit more flour in to firmen it up. Once you have combined that mixture, pop in your whisked free range egg and just keep on mixing that in until it's all combined. And then what you're going to do is in the bowl, you're just going to combine it until it forms into a nice ball of dough. Now pop your dough onto a floured surface, and then you're going to knead it for the next 10 minutes until it forms a lovely little springy dough ball. And then what you're going to do is you're going to pour your sultanas or raisins and your candied peel onto the surface and just combine that in with the dough. But just watch out because they will jump out of the dough and try to escape, so just make sure you get all of them in there. Amazing. So once you've done that, you're going to pop your dough to the side, get your bowl out and just pour a tiny little bit of your vegetable oil in there and spread it round with either a brush or some kitchen roll or something. Once you've done that, pop your dough into that bowl and then pop a little bit of oil on top of it so it doesn't stick, and then pop some cling film on top. So once that's sat for an hour, we're going to pour it back out onto our work surface. You don't need any flour for this. And then we're going to knead it for another 5 minutes, then pop it back in the bowl with cling film on top for the next hour and a half. So after that 1 hour and 30 minutes, we're going to pour our dough back onto our surface, and we are going to tear away until we have made 12 equalish sized balls. Once you roll your balls, just kind of press them down just a little bit so they're not entirely circular. Then transfer that to our baking tray, which is lined with our parchment paper, and just cover those with cling film for another 30 minutes. So whilst we're waiting for those, over the next 30 minutes, what we're going to do is we're going to make our flour and water paste that will be piping on top of our buns in the shape of our cross. So to make this, what we do is we take our 100 ml of water and we add our flour gradually into a jug or a container with the water in, and just give it a mix until it develops a paste. If it's too watery, just add a little bit more flour in. However, if it becomes too thick that you don't think it will be able to go through the piping bag, again, just add a tiny bit of water and just keep mixing. Once your flour and water paste is sorted, what we're going to do is we're going to pop that into our mixing bag and get ready for piping our crosses on our hot cross buns. Once your hot cross buns have rested for 30 minutes, take the cling film off, and then you're just going to snip the end of your piping bag off, and we're going to pipe on our crosses like you see here. They don't have to be perfect, they can be a little bit messy because they'll all kind of bake out and they'll look like crosses once they've baked in the oven. Brilliant. So now our buns are ready for the ovens. They're going to go in at 200 degrees Celsius for 15 to 20 minutes until they come out a light golden brown. So whilst your buns are in the oven, what we're going to do, in our saucepan, we're going to put our 2 tablespoons of golden syrup in there and just heat that up until it becomes runny. And then once that's sorted and the buns are out of the oven, what we're going to do is we're going to glaze our buns with this golden syrup by adding a generous coat on each bun. So there we have it, our hot cross buns. I want to thank you all for watching this episode, but I am going to say this with a heavy heart, that this is going to be our last episode of MANNA for a while. Hopefully we will be back with another series, but it's been really fruitful to create something like this and to hear that people have been getting things back from it. I want to wish you all a very blessed Easter, and hopefully I will see you on the big screen soon. And if you're at school watching, see you at school. God bless, guys.